The online gambling epidemic is a pretty big problem. So let's see what this guy has to say from Drew Gooden. I've seen this guy's face before. Might have seen a video or two from him, but I don't remember.
A few months ago, to celebrate my friend's birthday, I went on a Victory Casino cruise, and not only did everyone get seasick almost immediately, but we also lost all the money we brought in to gamble with. It was one of the best days of my life. For a good portion of the past century, getting on a boat that reeks of piss and wobbling your way out just far enough into the ocean so that laws don't exist anymore was one of the only ways to legally gamble in the United States. It had such a convoluted barrier of entry that most people could go their entire lives without ever being tempted to do it. Just don't go to Nevada and you'll probably never see a casino. In 2024, this is no longer the case.
I don't think I've actually ever gambled for real. Like, I've bought a couple of scratch-off tickets, but I've never actually gambled. Never, like, played slots or nothing like that.
On FanDuel,
DraftKings, BetMGM, PrizePicks,
Underdog,
Hard Rock Bet,
Valley Bet,
PointsBet,
ESPN Bet365. Smack me in the mouth with all of
If you watch any sports at all, ads for sports betting have become inescapable. Even if you muted every commercial and closed your eyes until the game came back on, it's still plastered everywhere. DraftKings promos pop up in the middle of a play, there's BetMGM billboards behind.
This is part of the reason why I have ad blocks turned on, because gambling ads are disgusting. Gambling is disgusting to me. People who run these gambling companies are evil, and they deserve to have their entire companies burned to the ground because they're just evil. They do evil things in the background, behind the scenes. Always, because money's involved. Anytime money is involved that much into a company, literally the company is based on manipulating people out of money. It's evil.
Home plate, FanDuel logos on the court, on the microphones. They come at you from every angle, pepper spraying you in the face so you don't notice they just pulled your pants down. They've made it so watching sports and betting on sports are just two sides of the same coin. Like, you can't have one without the other. It's become so normalized that it might be easy to forget that gambling can be kind of bad, actually. About 10 million people in the US alone struggle with gambling in some way, a good portion of which are under the age of 25. Gambling addicts attempt suicide at a rate 15 times higher than the general population. The average debt of a gambling addict can range from $15,000 to $90,000. But where most people would see this as a problem, a few people saw it as an opportunity. All that extra money.
Like in children's video games that aren't really for children, but they're for children. You know, like all the sports games that are still gambling. They got all these card packs that you can buy. Ridiculous. Get it out.
That could be siphoned from struggling families and into the pockets of like 12 CEOs. And we're not doing that because... So in 2018, the Supreme Court overruled the federal ban on sports betting. And since then, Americans have collectively lost over $245 billion on it. That's almost $1,000 per person, and that number was from last year. But the bombardment of playful advertising filled with famous celebrities would make you think it's just a harmless, fun game.
Of course it's filled with famous celebrities, because they can pay these celebrities lots and lots of money. And then people see these celebrities on there and they're like, oh, I love celebrities. I want to do what the celebrity's doing. I want to be a celebrity.
You can play on your phone. Kevin Hart, Post Malone, Chris Rock, LeBron James, Kevin Hart, Peyton Manning, Jamie Foxx, Eric Andre, Patton Oswalt, Vanessa Hudgens, the guy from that Kendrick Lamar song, Kevin Hart. Even the Talk Tua podcast is sponsored by Better. Why is it always the people you trust the most?
You don't need to know everything about every sport.
good, because I don't.
Yeah, me either. All you need is a feeling and a phone.
Oh my gosh, I want
That is such a bold way to advertise your product. You don't have to know anything about sports in order to bet on them. In fact, we would prefer you didn't. Look, this guy's just chilling in a hot tub. He doesn't even know what sport he bet on, and he won money. So go ahead, just open the app and start mashing buttons.
You just win, no matter what.
I don't know, like, where do you think they got all the money to shell out to these celebrities? Could it be that maybe Prize Picks isn't the secret gateway to riches beyond my wildest imaginations, and maybe they're just trying to get my debit card number so they can take all my disposable income? Whether or not you think sports
That and sell your information. They do that too. Don't forget about the data collection.
betting should be illegal, and I'm not even necessarily saying it should be, the fact that they're allowed to advertise it like this is fucking insane. Imagine a cigarette commercial that
Yeah, see, I think the same. I think that sports betting should not be illegal. I think gambling should not be illegal. But stop manipulating people. Stop advertising it everywhere. I've got kids that are wanting to bet on sports, like what do they call it? The fan fiction sports. I don't know. But I've got kids talking about want to do that. Where they got their sports ball team that they've made, and they're gonna win some money on, possibly, or lose. Children.
was like, oh my god, this is so good.
This is the best I've ever felt in my life. I'm on top of the world.
Typically the only tobacco ads you see are like anti-vaping PSAs. And I hope there's a future where advertising for betting apps is regulated in a similar way. You can still bet on sports. You can still smoke cigarettes if you want to. It's not illegal, but you're not bombarded with the temptation to do it every time you turn on a basketball game. Even though it's only been 6 years since the federal ban on sportsbooks was overturned, technology has already evolved well beyond what was available at the time. And now that gambling has gone from being in a place you have to go to do it, to being accessible on your phone at any moment, there's nothing stopping these apps from trying to lure you in constantly, and they're really good at doing that.
Addiction is intensified, he says, by how much the gambling companies know about each user. That data was used to tailor offers and push notifications to keep the guy in action.
I told you, data collection.
They knew the life stage, the customer life stage it was at, so win back, they described it. So people that have given up gambling for a while and they're trying to get them to come back.
Just by using these apps, you're giving them data about your gambling habits, which they can then weaponize against you. If they realize around 2 p.m. every Sunday is when you're most likely to interact with the app because you're watching 19 games at once and you're starting to get a little restless, they can tailor make a push notification just for you. Maybe they'll boost the odds of a third quarter Tyreek Hill touchdown, or they'll show you a parlay that 50,000 other people have bet on, and that many people can't all be wrong. Let's talk about parlays for a second, because I think that's one of the biggest contributors to the exponential rise of sports betting.
It's parlay time.
Put simply, a parlay is when you combine multiple bets into one bet, significantly decreasing the odds of it hitting, but massively boosting the payout you'll win if it does. It's basically the difference between winning a few dollars for correctly calling one coin flip, or winning thousands of dollars if you can get that coin to land on heads 12 times in a row. You're so distracted by the possibility of how much you could win that you're not even considering the fact that you definitely won't. Parlays are the lottery ticket of sports betting, and these apps have made it so easy to make one whenever you want. The only thing stopping you from putting together a parlay that frankly doesn't even make sense is your own imagination. Because of parlays, I think for a lot of people, gambling has become death by 1,000 paper cuts. Maybe instead of losing a lot of money all at once, you're just losing a little bit of money all the time. Sometimes you'll even lose money in a way that feels like you almost won. 5 out of 6, I was so close, but that means I'll definitely win next time. My only personal experience with online sports betting was a couple years ago when I saw Underdog Fantasy was offering to match your first deposit up to $100, and I thought, okay, I'll give it a try. I watch a lot of football, maybe I can finally make back some of the money I've spent over the years supporting my stupid, shitty team. So I put in $100, they doubled it, and slowly over the course of the next 2 months, I lost $25 every week until it was all gone. Now, if I'm being honest, I think this was actually best case scenario for me. I consider myself lucky that the few times I've tried gambling, it hasn't gone well for me, because I have no positive association with it. In the same way that I have no desire to smoke.
Maybe. But I think even if I won, I probably wouldn't do it again, because I am smart enough to know that the chances of me doing this again are like 1 in however many people there are in the population.
Cigarettes, because the first time I did, I smoked 2 back-to-back for some reason and was nauseous the rest of the night. I have no desire to gamble because I've only ever lost money doing it. So even though Underdog managed to get $100 out of me, I actually think they would have preferred if I won a little bit first. When betting apps give out these kind of introductory offers, it's not just so they can get a bunch of free money, although that's definitely part of it. They're trying to create a customer for life.
Bet $5 and get $150 in bonus bets. $5, get $200 back. $250.
$500.
Up to $2,000.
Online sportsbooks know that the best way to get people addicted to their product is to make that first big win as easy as possible. So they'll lure you in with an offer that seems too good to be true, because all of that is pennies compared to what they're raking in from the people who are hooked. They give you free money to start with. They'll let you try again if your first bet doesn't work. They'll let you throw in one leg of a parlay that has essentially a 100% chance of hitting. They are desperate to make sure you have a good time. They want every time you see that app icon on your phone to think about the rush you felt when you turned $5 into $100, so you keep chasing that feeling forever. I just managed to outsmart them by being so unbelievably bad at sports betting that I never even came close to winning. But because I was curious to see...
So I'd rather bet with investments, because that's just a way smarter deal to make, and you're way more likely to win. And even if you do, you don't just lose everything, you lose a percentage. Bet on the stock market, man. Put your money into stocks, especially stuff you know is going to go up and up and up, instead of putting all of the money you could be putting on stocks into the stocks of the slot machine.
how much online sports gambling has evolved since I tried it a couple years ago, and because I would never leave a stone unturned in the pursuit of research, I decided for this video I should try it one more time. So I signed up for the only legal sports book in my home state of Florida, which I assume is named after famous internet sex symbol Hard Rock Nick.
Balls tugged on one by one.
Their introductory offer is that they'll give you another chance to bet if your first one doesn't win. On the surface, that almost sounds like free money, but it's not like you can bet once, lose, and then just take your money back. You still have to give them the money. You're probably just gonna lose twice for the price of one. But hey, check this out. I've already unlocked a 1x multiplier, which means for every dollar I earn, I walk away with $1.
I spent the next 12 minutes hard at work concocting the smartest and most guaranteed parlays the world has ever seen. With all my bets placed, I could finally sit back, relax, and enjoy a stress-free Sunday afternoon.
Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Why did I bet on Sam Darnold? Why did I bet on Kirk Cousins? Why did I take the over on Curtis Martin rushing yards? He retired in 2007.
The next few hours felt like a roller coaster, but in spite of it all, I was determined to come out on top.
Guess who has 2 thumbs and just won $9.52? This guy.
Wow.
My other thumb's holding the phone.
A whole $10 you won. Oh, doesn't it feel good? Doesn't it feel real good? You can go buy yourself half a McDonald's meal.
But now I'm And since I only lost 5 other bets, I was just $61 from breaking even.
Now I know what you're thinking, Drew. How could you have possibly known the Bills were gonna beat a team significantly worse than them? What are you, some kind of genius? No. I prefer savant. The truth is, none of this would have been possible without my good luck charm, Michael McCorkle Jones. You can look it up, that's his real name. Ever since I saw him hit the gritty at the Pro Bowl a few years ago, I knew I needed a metal poster of him to hang up on my wall. And thanks to today's sponsor, Displate, that's finally possible. Are you tired of waking up to your boring, empty walls? You try to hang up posters, but your hammer didn't come with instructions, so you don't know how to use it. Well, why don't you go ahead and throw that thing in the trash? Because you don't need one to hang up a display. Displays are high-quality metal posters that help you show off all your fitness. You over to life. I've been procrastinating, but they're ordered by Displate for sponsoring a week now. And even though I did, will now continue. All right, so I've been using this app for a little over a week now, and even though I did win a few more bets, all I've really managed to do is turn my initial $100 into 0. It's all gone. I think they know they're on the verge of losing me for good because they're really ramping up the notifications. Most days I'm getting at least one every hour. They even offered me another second chance bet, this time up to $500. They are so confident based on everything I've shown them so far that it seems they're willing to give me any amount of money because it doesn't matter, I'm just going to lose it all anyway. Even in my very limited time using this app, I can already see the traps they're setting for me, and I am falling for them. For some reason, I've done multiple parlays that are contingent upon something happening at the beginning of a game. They offer a bunch of bets that are based on first quarter stats, and I realized firsthand why they do this. Because that one leg can cook your entire parlay immediately. But at that point, you've already committed to betting on this game, and there's so much more game to bet on. So
it just feels like a mess with it at every corner. They're manipulating you into giving you more, into giving them more money. by giving you money, they want you to spend it on their app. Can you cash out that $500 they give you? No, I don't think so.
You do. And before you know it, you're betting on Keyshawn George to make 5 threes? Why did I do that? I don't even know who that is. Why did I think Jake Paul was gonna knock out Mike Tyson? That fight was never ending in a knockout. They punched each other like 4 times. Obviously, they were just in it for the money, and I knew that going into it. I only did this bet because they boosted my odds, and they only boosted my odds because they knew it wasn't going to happen anyway. It's 2024. How am I still getting scammed by Jake Paul? And on the flip side, when I do win a bet, sometimes I'm not even that happy about it because I'm just like, I should have bet more. You start getting carried away doing the math. I turned $10 into $30, but I could have turned $100 into $300, $1,000 into $3,000.
So next time, I'm going to put all of my money in because that should give me a 10x return, right?
Oh my God. It's infinite money. And I think that's one of the most dangerous things about gambling is that sometimes it works. It's a hobby that technically could go well for you if you get very lucky and quit at the exact right time, which you won't, and the casinos are banking on the fact that you won't. Problem gamblers aren't just chasing a feeling, they're chasing this idea that maybe they'll win the lottery. A lot of gamblers can recognize that they have a problem, but see the problem as the way out of the problem.
I think the feeling at the time was, if you can just get lucky here somewhere, then potentially there's a way of making this all go away. I suppose the flip side to that as well, Aaron, is it was enabling me to just gamble as much as I wanted as well.
If I just have one good day, I can win it all back. Yes, I've dug this huge hole for myself, but if I just keep digging, I might be able to find that diamond I've been desperately searching for. But the sad reality is, even if you find the diamond, you're just gonna feel so good doing it that you'll probably dive right back into the mines looking for another one.
The truth.
I know a lady, she's related to me. Don't want to say her name or how she's related to me, but every time she gets paid, she goes to the casino and I see her putting in hundreds into this slot machine. Like $100 bill into the fucking slot machine. And that's insane. She'll put 4 of them in a row and I'm like, bro, I'm struggling to survive over here and you're just chucking hundreds like they're nothing. It's crazy to me.
If I'd have had that big win, I would have just spent it anyway.
A lot of the higher-ups at these companies will refuse any responsibility for creating new gambling addicts over the past few years. They'll make the argument that they're just addicted to their phone, and our app just happens to be on it.
I don't believe that there is an addiction to mobile betting any more than there is an addiction to utilization of your phone for any other reason.
You don't think
Except there's money involved.
Adding a layer of betting makes the phone more addictive than just tooling around Instagram?
No. There is problem gambling. It is a real problem. Whether it's gotten bigger or it's just become more noticeable because sports betting is legal, I think is an unknown.
Really?
Hey, they'd be gambling anyway.
That guy is actually a piece of shit. That guy is fucking evil. Are you kidding me? Of course that guy is going to be saying that because he wants it to be legal. Because he's making money off of it. Because he's not the guy who's betting. He's the guy who runs the bets.
Whether it's on our app that sends 30 push notifications a day and is linked to their bank account, or only available in a state on the other side of the country, is totally irrelevant. And while there are obviously some people for whom that is true, you cannot deny the fact that making it so goddamn easy to bet anything at any time is leading to more people gambling who wouldn't have otherwise. You're dangling a piece of candy inches away from people's faces and then saying, hey, it's not our fault they grabbed it. They still would have grabbed it even if it was 2,000 miles away. Since this is all still relatively new in the US, maybe we'll see more legislation in the future to combat this avalanche.
Doubt it. There's lots of money in it, so they can just push money into the lobbyists, and there you go. They've won.
In some countries, they no longer allow celebrities to appear in sportsbook ads, or they've banned the ads from appearing during sporting events altogether. America is still in this Wild West infancy where all these apps are just scrambling to find a way onto your phone before regulations start kicking in. but maybe in the future?
Nah, I'm gonna be honest. It's hard to imagine that happening. I think it's too late to put the toothpaste back in the tube. The leagues are making too much money off it already. Of course they want to shove betting apps down everyone's throats. It gives people more of a reason to watch the games, especially bad ones. While most people would turn off a 20-point blowout in the fourth quarter, you're still glued to the screen because you need CeeDee Lamb to get 12 more yards for your parlay to hit. They've figured out a way to make every moment matter, even if it doesn't.
You want to make every game interesting? Step one, open the BetMGM Sportsbook.
You know what to do.
It's not just sports, though. It seems like these days...
Every single one of these celebrities in these ads are straight up garbage pieces of shit.
You can gamble on absolutely anything. You can bet on celebrity breakups. You can bet on which White Lotus character will return in season 3. You can bet on the presidential election. And oh my God, so many people did. Hundreds of millions of dollars were tied up in political bets this year. And if that's not indicative of a nationwide gambling epidemic, I don't know what is. But I'll admit, I'm a little conflicted about this. Because on one hand, gamifying every aspect of our lives only gives more power to those with influence. It creates a financial incentive for spreading deliberate misinformation. It can make you question the motive behind everything you see and hear.
Well, I'm already doing that. The leftist media kind of did that already to me.
But on the other hand, XQC lost $700,000 betting on the election, and that's really funny. If you don't know who XQC...
Did he really? How much money did he make off of that stream and off the videos that came from the stream and the clips that came from the videos? So did he really?
He's a streamer who, at least in every clip I've seen of him, seems to be speaking a language he invented and no one else can understand. He's also one of the many streamers who've massively increased their wealth over the past few years by taking sponsorships from offshore crypto-based online casinos, helping them and the website they stream it on explode in popularity. At almost any point of any day, you can go to the slots tab on kick.com and see someone who is zonked out of their mind, eyes bloodshot red, 12 hours into non-stop slot spins, desperately trying to win back all the money they've lost so far, oftentimes in a situation...
And just like, slots are boring, man. They're boring. Who wants to sit there and just... Like, this is boring. I want to go play something else. I want to go play, like, a story-based game that has nothing to do with slots. Like, there are better ways for me to make money, easier ways for me to make money. I don't have to sit behind a computer just to make... How much is that? Oh, $32,000. What the hell? What the hell? No, thank you. That's how many credits you get? No, thank you.
So dire that even the chat, with no personal stakes involved and only there for entertainment, is begging them to stop. But they can't. They're on autopilot. Every loss is money that needs to be won back, and every win is just more money to gamble with. I randomly opened this guy's stream one day and watched in real time as he won almost $100,000 and then say this.
95K, that's fucking huge. We're a tenth of the way back.
A tenth? This dude was down $1 million on Big Bass Bash? Now, to most people watching, it's pretty easy to say, hey man, you should probably...
Bro, I need to start up my own, like, little betting operation. Holy shit. How much money are these casinos making, man? They're gonna end up running our country. They're gonna end up running our country. They're gonna end up running our country. Like, Democrats were talking about an idiocracy, that we're in an idiocracy. I don't think we've seen it yet. I really don't think we've seen it yet.
Quit while you're ahead. No, 100,000 isn't a million, but it's a lot more than zero. The problem is someone in this state of mind isn't capable of seeing it that way. He's not even in Thursday afternoon with the rest of us. He's still on the tail end of Wednesday night. So the rational part of his brain, too subdued to muster anything more than a mumble, asks his chat if he should end it there.
We up the better leave.
They all scream, of course you should, but it falls on deaf ears. He's yet to stop spamming spins for even a second. This man is no longer in control of his actions. He's a zombie, relegated to the passenger seat of his own mind as it careens towards the conclusion everyone watching knows is inevitable. But there's nothing he can do to stop the momentum.
I have to quit. At a certain point, I have to give up. At a certain point, I gotta give up. Oh my god. At a certain point, I gotta give up. Dude, that dog demolished the balance. Oh my god. That's crazy. Lost over $1 million today. There's nothing in there.
All he can do now is sit in the reality of what just happened.
Like, man, you could have put $1 million in a fucking Tesla. Or like, right now I heard BuzzFeed's doing pretty good again after Vivek to put a whole bunch of stocks in it. Like, bro, what are you doing? Invest in companies. Put it in Bitcoin. Are you retarded? Yes, obviously. What the hell, man?
What the fuck? Dude.
Come to terms with the fact that despite his and everyone else's better judgment, he got doghoused.
Doghouse is what did it. Dude, doghouse is what defeated me. I got doghouse. I got a full doghouse. Full doghouse, dude. Full doghouse. Full fucking doghouse, dude. Dude.
Doghouse.
I got doghouse.
Did I just watch this guy ruin his life?
I don't know, actually. The thing is, it's hard to take streams like this at face value. There's a very well-documented history of streamers on Kick high-stakes gambling with money that was given to them by the website they're playing on. So not only are the stakes not high, but it's technically not even gambling. It's just promotion. The entire goal of these streams is just to make the people watching them think they too can go win life-changing money on asscoin.com. So maybe this is all bullshit. Maybe the only real thing about these streams,
the way he's talking about it and the way he's playing it up, I'm thinking that this guy actually ruined his life.
are the holes he punched into the wall behind him. Maybe he'll miraculously be back in a couple days with a suspiciously large balance after seeming to lose everything. But clips like this are just the flip side of an online ecosystem currently doing everything it can to convince impressionable teenagers scrolling through TikTok and YouTube shorts that gambling is awesome actually, and you gotta start doing it.
Yes, 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 yes. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Bang, 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 bang.
That's a great feeling, man.
Now, some people have accused these websites of rigging the odds in favor of the streamers so it's easier for them to farm these clips, and as far as I'm aware, there's no proof of that. I think the misrepresentation of odds here is simply due to the fact that these websites can just keep depositing money into their accounts whenever they lose, giving them unlimited funds to play with.
Unless Rubet's gonna give me free money, I think that's like actually it. We really just need Howie to give us a ton of free money.
If you're given infinite money, you can just keep betting until you hit a jackpot. For them, there's no such thing.
Give me free money. I'm not putting it in no online casino, though. I've got a PayPal down there in the description. Or you can give a super thanks in the comments. That's a new thing that I learned about.
As rock bottom, a philosophy that very much does not translate to real life. In real life, you can hit rock bottom, and when you do, there's no texting Howie to get yourself out of it. What's especially concerning about these kinds of streams is that while sports betting apps are at least targeting mostly grown men, the majority audience for a lot of these streamers are teenagers and young adults. People whose brains have not finished developing yet. People who would have a harder time distinguishing between entertainment and real life and have less of an ability to evaluate risk compared to people much older than them. It is statistically proven that people who are exposed to gambling at a young age are more likely to develop problems with it later in life. So maybe don't do this. Is that too much to ask?
Now, there are a few different types of gambling streamers. There are the ones like Aiden Ross, who have been very transparent about the fact that money is the only thing that matters to them, and there's no line they would be unwilling to cross in pursuit of it. Then there's streamers like Steve Will Do It, who admitted in an interview with CoffeeZilla that the only reason he started taking these sponsorships was because he used to have a gambling problem, and it was a way for him to continue to gamble without having to use his own money. In other words, words, he knows from personal experience the harm a gambling addiction can cause, but he has no
So he's just manipulating people.
problem promoting that to other people as long as it's not his money they're losing. But then there's also plenty of streamers that don't seem to think they're doing anything wrong. They put their head in the sand and make excuses because the money's too good for them to turn down. Take Nick Merckx, for example. Nick gets pretty defensive when people question the fact that he spends 1 week out of every month spinning slots on kick.com. Oh yeah, man, sorry. Forgot a bunch of children watch my streams. Like, dude, you've spent the past 6 years streaming Fortnite and Call of Duty. If you don't think the majority of your audience is young men, I don't know what to tell you. And don't even get me started on Drake. I know a large portion of his audience is underage because those are the people he's trying to fuck.
So while obviously these websites who use decentralized currency and are based out of a small island country with laughably loose gambling restrictions in order to skirt federal regulations are mostly to blame for the damage they've caused, these celebrities and streamers who've helped popularize them are very much complicit. When you build an audience online, whether you like it or not, there is a parasocial element to it. There are people in your fan base who look up to you and trust you, and every time you sell something to them, you are leveraging that parasocial relationship in order to financially benefit. And I'm not gonna act like I'm perfect. I sell merch, I have sponsors, I just did an ad read like 3 minutes ago. But my God, I feel like the bare minimum with the sponsorship is, does this product actively hurt the people that use it? Yes? Then I'm not gonna do that. I get that it can sting to turn down a lot of money, and if the numbers people have floated around are accurate, it is a stupid amount of money. But for some of these people who could already live 10 full lifetimes without ever having to worry about bills ever again, when is it enough? It's just crazy to me. It's like, thank you to everyone who supports what I do. You've given me my dream job, this life of luxury I'm so lucky to have. And in return, I give to you a crippling addiction. Sorry, I wanted to buy a house in Mexico.
We got another place because you can't do it in America. You have to go somewhere else. So we went somewhere else and we got another place.
Call me dramatic, but I'm a little concerned where this is all headed. People like to talk about iPad babies who are burning all their dopamine receptors before they even reach preschool. But what is a slot machine if not just a giant iPad? Scientifically engineered to be as mesmerizing as possible so you don't even realize what you're letting it take from you.
$1,000 in fast spins at $50 a spin. Look at that, $194,000 grand. That thing is due. Oh. Well, that's $1,000.
Gambling can be addictive enough on its own.
What the hell, man? Just like that, $1,000 gone. That's why I don't do that shit. That's crazy. $1,000 that would pay for my car. Like, you kidding me? What are these people thinking? What are they doing? Where do they get their money to do this?
Before you add in all this social pressure. The transition from casual gambler to full-blown addict can happen so gradually, a lot of people don't even realize it's happened to them until it's too late. And when everyone around you from...
If you give me money, I'm not gonna gamble it. I'm putting it into my channel, which I guess would be a gamble. If you want to see me, you know, rise up and be a better streamer.
Celebrities in commercials to all your favorite streamers are just making it seem like it's no big deal. It's fun. Everybody does it. Can you truly recognize the seriousness of what you're getting yourself into? I think all we can really do for the time being is try to fight back against the normalization of gambling. So what do you say we all get together and call a timeout? What's that? They already tried that for hate.
We need to stop it.
So let's take this moment
To change the momentum.
and call a timeout.
On hate.
Together.
Together.
Yeah.
And it's not working?
Yeah, go fuck yourself with the hate stuff.
Even though they got shacked? Well, that's not good. That was kind of the only idea I had. Gambling is not new. For as long as there's been man, there's been the primal desire to bet it all on red. But what is new is the way technology has evolved to prey on these urges in the most efficient and targeted ways possible. Using AI to send push notifications at the precise moment they know they're most likely to be open. Using a constantly evolving algorithm to offer bets that are so time sensitive you have to commit to it before you even have a chance to think about it. These apps didn't invent gambling addiction, they've just made it more accessible.
And worse, they used to have to go to the casino. Now you can just sit in your living room and rot away and watch as the bank starts taking away all your stuff while you're sitting on your couch rolling your slot machine.
Combine all of that with a system in which most people aren't paid nearly enough money for the amount of work that they do and might see gambling as one of the only ways out of that situation, only to end up exacerbating their problems, and you end up with the unmitigated economic disaster we're in now. Forgive me for using the C word, but we've stumbled into this stage of capitalism where every dollar must be profited by any means necessary, and foregoing any chance to do so would simply be seen as a missed opportunity. Advertisements in between the game? Not enough. Now they're a part of the game. A mini fridge in the hotel that I can store my leftovers in? No, we should be filling every square inch of that thing with $12 Coke cans that'll automatically charge your credit card even if you're just moving one out of the way. A YouTube outro that's just a few seconds of peaceful music and no call to action? You wish, bozo. Please go listen to the song I made with my friend Sam. I wrote the guitar for it and I think it's pretty good. Thanks for watching.
That was a good video. I hate gambling. I hate gamblers, and I hate the casinos and everybody who owns these gambling companies. Sports betting is the worst, is the absolute worst. And these sports events need to stop promoting sports betting and stuff like that, because you've got family watching you, man. You've got families, you got kids watching you, and you're advertising sports betting. Get out of here with that.